Malik, just how nice is it to see Trey out here getting some shots up, and it looks like he's getting a little closer.
Yeah, about time. Been out for about 3 months. About time to see him out here again. But yeah, it's good to see him back. Another vet, another man that know how to play basketball, and another hard-nosed man. So yeah, good to have him back.
And with you moving to the starting lineup, how important is it to have a guy like that can maybe step in and give you some scoring punch off the bench?
Yeah, it's always great to have somebody, a vet that's played the game, that's been around, that plays hard, especially if he can shoot the ball. So yeah, it's a big. He's been a big piece missing for us.
Where do you feel his absence the most?
Say that again?
Where do you feel like his absence is the most? You kind of talked about what he does, but
his toughness.
Yeah,
his toughness.
Mm-hmm. Is it hard to manufacture that toughness and physicality without a presence like him?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's hard to get somebody 6'8", 250 that can move a little bit, shoot the ball, and is physical, super physical. So yeah, you can't. Yeah, we missed it. We missed it.
Malik, there's a video out that's kind of like featuring your defensive plays. It's a good video though.
It's a nice one?
Yeah. I just wanted to get your thoughts on,
I ain't seen it. I gotta look. Where is that? It's on Twitter?
I'll just put it like this. Deuce Mason put one out there. It's pretty good. But it did point out some your tendencies, your instincts, being around the ball and know what type of plays are coming, getting deflections and steals and stuff. So what's your thoughts about that?
That's how you get on the court. That's how you stay on the court, doing small things like that, especially when you have Fox, Domas, and DeMar. So, yeah, I just try to do the little things to get involved in that way because I know they're going to take some space up on the offensive end. So I just try to do what I got to do some games. Maybe it's more on the defensive end sometimes. Maybe it's more on the offensive end. But, yeah, I've been locking in on the defense. People say I couldn't guard, so I'm just showing people.
Mike was talking about how he challenged you to get you and Kevin to draw some offensive charges, offensive fouls. Did you have that in your mind once you kind of pointed it out?
When I took the one in New Orleans, no, I didn't. They didn't show it on film the other day. I was mad at them because I took it.
Yeah.
But no, I really wasn't thinking about then. But after, I was like, oh yeah, I got one. So yeah, it's good. It's good to have a few.
Malik, when you look at Denver, they're a different team, I feel like, with Russ at the helm of that. It starts with Jokic. What are you preparing for tomorrow night?
It's hard to prepare for Jokic. So we got to prepare for all the other guys. You can't prepare for Jokic. We just going to try to contain him and just try to limit all the other guys.
When you look at Sabonis and Jokic, what's the similarities within their game?
Passing, the unselfishness, the triple-doubles. They play a little different because Domas like to bang a little more. And Jokic is a little bit more finesse, but both great European bigs. Great. You hear him? Y'all hear him?
Going back to that defense, what is you embracing it look like? Is that doing more film? Is that just being willing to step in there?
Yeah, watch the film more. Looking at the details on the film. Debo said I got one more answer, so
what do you like about what Debo's doing right now?
Huh?
What do you like about the way Debo's playing right now?
I don't like shit about it. Nothing at all. Please.
What do you like about, honestly, the way you guys are kind of playing right now? I was talking to guys last night, and it's like you can not play your best basketball and lose games, or not play your best basketball and win games. Do you feel like you guys have turned a little bit of a corner?
I mean, yeah, we getting there. It's just about consistency from the effort standpoint. We're going to have games where we make shots. There's going to be games we miss shots, but our effort got to be there to still give ourselves a chance to win every single night and play with that confidence. Whether we miss the shots or whatever it may be. I think that's starting to kind of take a turn. Us just going out there competing.
You've won 4 of the last 5. Do you feel like you've turned the corner? And if not, is this a measuring stick game on Monday, you think?
I mean, it's one of those things where we just trying to take a game at a time. You don't worry about the last game, and you don't worry about the next game after the game that's coming up. When you look up over time, you kind of look up and you have the results that we have now. So as long as we keep that mindset, that mentality, go out there, it's on to the next game. We got to worry about Denver. That's going to be a tough challenge, and we see where we go from there.
Jokic, though, specifically with Denver, that dude's got to be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's not who he is. One of the greatest bigs that ever played this game. High IQ, the ability to share the ball. dominated game in so many aspects. Offensively, it's amazing. You got to give him credit.
He didn't
DeMar,
come
when
out.
you started with Denver, we're talking about, protecting home court, because you guys got a good home stretch coming here. You know how important that is, to protect home court.
It's big. I think I mentioned a couple days ago, just trying to make home more of a priority. Starting off not protecting home, it's kind of frustrating. Now we got this month, for the most part, being home. We got to take advantage of that, and give ourselves that, that cushion that we need.
Jokic didn't, set the world on fire right out of the gate. I mean, he was kind of this. People didn't know a lot about him. Do you remember the first time you saw him and went, "Oh yeah, he's a problem"?
Yeah, it was back when I played in Toronto. You definitely seen. The game was completely different. I remember when he was coming off the bench. I remember he was starting with two bigs. You just see the progression over time of his skill set and his IQ level always stood out more than anything. And I think, the last couple of years, the last 5-6 years, the way he's been dominating, it's always been there. But having the freedom to go out there and just play, be yourself, is definitely shown.
DeMar, with Monk moving into the starting lineup and that secondary creator, how much has that allowed you to play off the ball a little bit more and shoot those threes?
It's big. Whenever you can have multiple playmakers, multiple scoring threats, it opens up so much of the game for everybody. Give us all the opportunity, whether if it's me, Fox, to kind of get off the ball a little bit and find easier ways to score. And sometimes be the recipient of when Malik got the ball, because he's so dynamic in being able to score, shoot, play, make. So it just opened up another layer for us to be, dominant offensively.
You've been in the West before, but Chicago last handful of years. Is it any different for you being back in the West?
Yeah. The West much difficult than the East. A lot different.
How does that change anything for you?
It don't change nothing other than just. You want to compete at that highest level every single night. Only thing different for me is, trying to get used to what time games come on. That's about it.
Is it more than you anticipated?
No, not at all.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I saw Trey kind of working out a little bit out there. Is it kind of getting close? Is it you liking what you've seen overall?
He's getting close, but I don't. He's not playing tomorrow. I don't even know if he's playing the game after that. It's just he's progressing like anybody would with an injury.
Where do you feel like his presence has missed the most for you guys?
He plays hard. He knows what we're doing. He's a big body that rebounds, especially even if he doesn't get it, he finds ways to get us extra possessions when it comes to the crash zone and even diving on the floor for loose balls. And he helps us with our versatility, matching up with bigger guys while still having the ability to shoot the basketball.
Mike, Kevin is injured a little bit again. Where are we at with that, and just how do you replace that? You guys don't really have another bench scorer with Monk moving in the starting lineup.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things, we got to find it. And, we got to find it by committee. It may not be one guy. Kevin's been playing well for us. Even when he hasn't, quote-unquote, shot the ball well, he's done a lot of little things at his size that have impacted the game the right way. So we just got to find it by committee. It may be one guy for a 3-minute stretch and then another guy for a 2-minute stretch. And, again, guys going to get opportunities. And, if I'm behind Kevin, I'm going to try to come in and play hard, see where the chips fall, and take advantage of any opportunity that's given to me.
Are you just waiting for someone to sort of have a moment and step up, or do you think that you're going to have to do it by committee this whole time?
Preferably if somebody can step up and grab hold of it, and I'll run with it. Like I said, a prime example is I did that with Keon as an undrafted second-year player that played a year and a half in the G League, and now next thing you know, he's getting real minutes. So if somebody can find a way to do that, I'm not afraid to go with them. But they're going to have to do it convincingly.
Mike, along those lines, how much of what you see in practice versus games dictates, when you turn to guys? Can guys earn minutes with their practice?
It's a little harder in practice because we don't have contact. We don't, we're not going live, and so everything is technique driven, and it's more mental than physical. And so, yeah, you can get a feel, but sometimes it doesn't always translate when the lights come on and Guys are playing hard out there, and it's real. So when they get opportunities, whether it's in what everybody quote unquote calls garbage time or not, you got to go play the right way, but play extremely hard.
Colby's got an opportunity to get some of those minutes. What have you seen from him? Just kind of going both ways. What have you liked? What do you still feel like needs to be cleaned up?
What I'm thinking with Kobe is he just has to get comfortable because he's shown on the G League level that he can shoot it to a certain degree, he can score it. But on our level, he's starting to show he can excuse me, he can touch the paint and spray it. He's a pretty good defender with strength. He's taken a couple of guys have driven at him and put that back shoulder in him. A lot of times, you guys see it with Keegan a lot. When Keegan puts his back shoulder into you, you're stumbling, and it's not a foul. It's just that's how strong and big he is. And Kobe could take that back shoulder hit from most guards and not fold. Still be able to take the hit and step slide and then contest. And so at his size, strength, and athleticism, you like what he does defensively, especially when it's guarding the basketball. You like the fact that at times, because it's going to happen when he gets beat, he still finds a way to impact the play. He's had a couple of blocks from behind a couple of times when he's gotten beat. He attacks the offensive glass. Every single time the shot goes up, he's come up with a couple of offensive rebounds. He gets after loose balls. He will run. So there are some things that you like about Colby as a young player, and you just hope that when he has an opportunity, he can, again, when I say do those things at a high level, I'm not talking about be the best or be perfect, but try to execute those things while playing harder than anybody else, and then if he's open, he's got to let it go and let it go with confidence.
With him going down to Stockton and a couple guys that go back and forth, how much do you get to keep tabs on that, and just what's the evaluation process trying to figure out, if this will work in G League versus what's going to work at the NBA?
You never know if it's going to translate, but the more reps that anybody gets at anything at the highest level that they can try to get those reps at, especially when they have success with it, just gives them confidence. And so, sending those guys to the G League gives them an opportunity to spread their wings without looking over their shoulder and knowing that, okay, this stint for me may only be 45 seconds or 2 minutes. No, this stint's going to be a while, and I can play through some mistakes so that I can learn from the mistakes that I'm making while still playing. And, we're watching guys basically growth, are they continuing to make the same mistakes? No, okay, that's great. Are they playing hard as they can possibly play? Yes, okay, that's great. Do they play with a bit of confidence, swag, and understand what we're trying to do on both ends of the floor? Yeah, that's great. Okay, great. And that just gives you more confidence to try to give them an opportunity once they're on our level, but it doesn't guarantee them an opportunity.
The schedule kind of opens up some practice time for you guys, especially with these 2 days. Is there anything you lock in on or start emphasizing more?
Yeah, I mean, just continuing to preach what we've always preached, trying to get better with our paint touches, with our spacing, with our execution. There are some things that we do that defenses may give us some trouble with, so we may tweak this or tweak that. Just like defensively, it gives us an opportunity to clean up some stuff on the defensive end to get a little bit better. And just as important, we've gone over some in-the-game situations. You have time to kind of walk through that. And then probably the biggest thing is, because we play with different combinations, trying to put the different combinations together so they can run through some offense together and some defense together, because certain groups we know we're getting a little bit more comfortable with our rotation. Certain groups are going to be on the floor at certain times, and then when they are there, it's good to try to get them some reps in practice so it has some carryover into the game.
Mike, with the offense, the numbers obviously are better over the last 5. Did you make any tweaks or anything, or is it the guys are just, executing a little better and doing, the game plan a little better and knocking down shots too?
Yeah, for the most part, we're preaching the same things. You know, we have our staples offensively, we have our staples defensively. Those haven't changed dramatically. You know, in the past, they're roughly the same, and it starts with our pace. You know, and then from there, our spacing, ball reversals, paint touches, making quick decisions. You know, and those things we preach all the time. Our guys are starting to do a better job of it. But again, in fairness to them, you know, we also had different lineups out there. You know, I said in the preseason, we just played out of our early flow, and I'm getting to learn the team with DeMar. DeMar's getting to learn the team. The guys getting to learn him. So there's some factors that, you know, that are taking time to get to the level we want to be at with them. And I still think we have room to grow, but hopefully we'll take more steps forward than backwards as time goes on. But I caution everybody, we're still going to take some steps backwards. It's not going to be smooth sailing just because we've won 3 out of 4 or whatever we've won. We got a long way to go still.
Coach, you know, there was a stretch of games where, you know, the opposing players, you know, they go on those little personal runs, one-man runs, 8-0, 11-0 by themselves. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like you guys, you and the coaching staff, maybe have y'all been paying attention to that, you know, to stop these guys and turn that water off. Has it been like that? I think it probably started around Houston with Jalen Green. It seemed like he was trying to get off on a run. It's like, no, we got to cut this water off on this guy. Has it been kind of like that, you know, with these players? And what I mean by, like, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, you know, when they was going over those personal runs, it seemed like you guys are caught up with that. You're trying to stop those type of activities.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot, and that's why I don't ever want to say it's the players, it's the players, it's the players, it's the players, because it's not. It's me too, and you know, it is what it is. But we lost an experienced coach in Jordy Fernandez that ran our defense, and you know, Luke Laux is in charge of our defense now. This is the first time he's ever been on the front of the bench. He's a younger coach. This is the first time that he's, you know, been with a team where he's known as a coach too. Before this, he was in the front office and he was a player development coach before coming to Sacramento. And so it's going to take a little time for him and I to get a rhythm, with the players, and us as a staff, just in general, starting with me, to be able to make changes and or decisions on the fly, because it's one thing to be able to sit back and watch video. You can pick up everything if you have a feel. When you sit back and watch video, it's another thing to where when the action is live and trying to make adjustments while trying to make rotations and figuring out what you're going to do offensively, and this guy's in foul trouble, so I got to make a change here, or we got to think about this for the second half. So there's a lot of decisions going on, and our staff, you know, my staff, Jay, Luke, Doug, and all the guys behind the bench, you know, they're growing just like the players are growing, and they're doing a fantastic job. And you know, I'm on them just as hard as I am on the players, because we all have to be accountable for our success and failures, although it starts and ends with me. You know, I'm going to take that on. So at the end of the day, when it comes to in-game adjustments, you know, do we have a better feel today of what we're going to do as a staff than 2 months ago? Yeah. Just like I have a better feel of what I'm going to do rotationally today instead of 2 months ago, and same with what we're going to run offensively or what we're going to do after timeouts and all that stuff. We're getting better, like the players are getting better, and we're no different.